astronomers have expressed confidence in their understanding of the origins of the universe. Today, most astronomers agree that a primordial creation event called the Big Bang gave birth to the universe precisely 13.7 billion years ago. But a new scientific study is one of many findings that raise significant questions about this theory. Researchers using the Hubble telescope have spotted an astounding spiral galaxy. Astounding, they say, because it shouldn't exist. The researchers have dated the galaxy's age at 10.7 billion years old. Lead author of the study, David Law, says of these findings, "The fact that this galaxy exists is astounding. Current wisdom holds that such grand design spiral galaxies simply didn't exist at such an early time in the history of the universe." What are we to make of these and other findings that defy the underpinnings of the Big Bang theory?
Standard theories dictate the faster an object recedes from Earth, the farther away it is, because the primordial Big Bang explosion is supposed to have imparted an initial push that's causing the universe to expand. Using those theoretical parameters, a faster recessional velocity means greater distance, which means an earlier time period in the universe. And since an object almost 11 billion light years away is from the so-called early days of the universe, it shouldn't exhibit such complexity of form because there wasn't enough time since the Big Bang for that complexity to evolve.
Astronomers are surprised to find a high redshift galaxy with spiral structure. It has a redshift of 2.18, and most galaxies with that high of a redshift have irregular shapes. This one has well-defined arms, and it even has a companion at the end of one of them. The Big Bang theory assumes that redshift is an indicator of distance, which would put this galaxy at about 11 billion light years away. If it's that far away, it's therefore large and bright. But modern astronomy dismissed the observations of many astronomers in the last half of the 20th century, astronomers like Halton Arp and the Burbages. They found that high redshift objects tend to cluster around nearby low redshift objects. They found many physical connections, and they even found some high redshift objects in front of low redshift objects. These observations were misrepresented, and the misrepresentations were disproved. So with that excuse, the observations were dismissed and the Big Bang theory was saved. This is kind of a new scientific method. Instead of observation theory and testing, the data is judged by its conformity with belief. If it doesn't conform, then there's something wrong with the data, and the data is dismissed. In this case, fervency of belief replaces testing. If redshift is not proportional to distance, then the universe is not expanding and there's no Big Bang.
For Newsy, I'm Logan Tittle. Astronomers say they've discovered the biggest thing ever found in the history of finding big things. It's a group of quasars 4 billion light years across, about 1/20th the diameter of the whole observable universe. For the uninitiated, quasars are massive black holes at the center of galaxies. The gases around them get so hot they glow, becoming some of the brightest objects in the universe. They're also known to cluster in groups, but never a group this big before. In fact, the clusters shouldn't even exist. A structure that size violates the cosmological principle. Popular Science describes the rule. The cosmological principle is the assumption that the universe, if viewed from a large enough scale, looks the same no matter where you are viewing it from. It's one of those things that fits in with the work of theorists like Einstein, but that we obviously can't observe. Basically, the idea is while specific places in the universe are different, they all start to look the same if you zoom out a little, like how different crumbs all blur together to make a smooth cake. Scientists have had to revise exactly how far out that is several times already, but because the quasar group is 4 times larger than the current theoretical limit, it'll have to be revised again. To an outsider, it might seem like astrophysicists should just ditch the idea, but an Oxford researcher tells New Scientist that probably won't happen. People are maybe understandably reluctant to give up the thing because it will make cosmology too bloody complicated. But they don't have to revise the principle just yet. Since this study is the first glimpse of the quasar cluster, there's still some doubt whether it's actually as big as it seems. It's unclear whether the cluster that the team has identified truly is a single structure. For instance, what looks like one enormous cluster may actually be 2 structures that look as though they are one because of the viewing angle from Earth. If it's confirmed, the cluster will do more than revise one principle. It'll shed light on the state of the early universe since the cluster is at least 9 billion years old. For Newsy, I'm Logan Tilley.